So obviously good evening one and all. So in today's class we are going to see actually NAND gate little bit in a brief and NOR gate little bit in a brief, because we are going to use it in implementation of various circuits in combinational and sequential logic circuits. So as we already studied about digital circuits, we have already studied about digital circuits, different gates like basic gates. Then we have studied about universal gates like NAND and NOR, and then we have studied our few exclusive gates which are mainly useful for the arithmetic circuit and for the different code converters and during data transmission and data transmission. So we'll see little bit in a brief today. As I have already told you, NAND is what actually. NAND is an universal gate. Okay, so why is it called universal set? Because we can implement any type of gates using NAND actually. So that is the reason we can design any type of digital circuit with the help of NAND implementation. Okay, so we'll see today actually little bit in a brief about the NAND as universal, because we have already studied about three things in the digital electronics BTech. NAND as universal with implementation of AND or NOT. Okay, but you have not actually implemented the same using XOR and XNOR using NAND. Okay, so we'll see little bit a brief today. So if you're not understanding, please let me know. So first gate we are going to start implement of NOT gate using NAND. It's very simple. So we just has to do, we have our NAND gate. So we just has to sort it up and it will be A. This will be your A bar. So this will be my NOT gate actually. Okay. So how many NAND gate required to design it? Just one gate is required to design it. So one gate required, one NAND gate required to design it. Okay. Next we'll move to the very simple. You can just has to implement it. This is 0, then 0, this will be 0, this will be 0. 0 0 means what? It will be 1. So it will be implement. So you can also put 1. If it is 1, this is 1. So this is 1 1 1 is 0. So it is acting like a inverter. So that's why it's a NOT gate. So you can require just one NAND gate to design a NOT gate. Next we'll go to the AND gate to implement using NAND gate. So it's very simple. You just require two NAND gates. How is it? As we know that this is a NAND gate. So this is obviously AB and this is A and B bar. So if I put a NOT gate here, so as I have implemented already NOT gate using NAND gate, I'll just implement it NOT gate using NAND gate like this. Then it will provide me A B bars bar, which is A and B. So which will give me AB. So how many gates required? It's just required two NAND gates. Okay, two NAND gates required. So next third number, which is actually OR gate. So OR gate actually required. So three NAND gates. How is it? Please check it. So this is my A, B. Obviously this is my, sorry, this is my A, and I am just taking it, which is actually A bar. Am I correct, students? Very simple. This is A bar. Similarly, I can take another NAND gate and I just sort two inputs. Then I'll get here B, which is B bar. Then I'll just give both the outputs of A bar, A B bar to the another gate, NAND gate, which is A bar and B bar whole bar. Okay, so it will be obviously A bars bar or B bars bar using De Morgan's law. So it will be A or B. So for the OR gate, we require how many NAND gates? Mainly three NAND gates required. Three gate required. Okay, very important. So next, fourth one, XOR. In order to implement XOR, how many number of NAND gates required? So minimum, how many number of NAND gates required? Mainly it requires 4 gates. So see here, I'm going to express it now. Then we can prove that this is XOR. So how to design it? Just you can see this is my one NAND gate. Okay, so output of this is divided into two another NAND gate. So this is one NAND gate and this is another NAND gate. Okay, and here this is my A, which will go to A. This is B. So here it is A, and this is what? A or and B bar. Okay, this will be my A and B bar. So this is my A and B bar. Okay, so if it is A and B bar, what is the output of this? This is A and AB bar whole bar. Am I correct, friends? So this is again A and B bar. So this will be mine B and A and B bar. So this will be B and AB bar whole bar. Then finally it will go to the another NAND gate. So which will give me finally my output, which is actually what actually will get here. This will be Y A XOR B, which is nothing else A bar B or AB bar. Now I want to prove this, how these two inputs will go to the NAND gate and will, so obviously I can expect here output Y, what? Y will be A and AB bar and B and AB bar, and finally it will go to the whole bar. Am I correct, students? The output will be like this. So the two inputs are, one input is A and A bar B, AB bar whole bar, B and AB bar whole bar. So obviously I can have finally again a NAND gate, so it will be mine final and NAND operation. So if I apply the De Morgan's theorem and I will start solving it, AB bar, bars bar, and break the bar, change the operator. This will be OR, B and AB bar, bars bar. Okay. So obviously what I can expect, bars bar means it will be A bars bar is what? A. So I'll just change it up. Here I have applied the De Morgan's theorem, nothing else. Here I have applied De Morgan's theorem. Okay. So this will be my A and A bar B, or B and AB whole bar. Okay. These are all whole bar. Okay. So if I can apply now, again the De Morgan's theorem here to these two, what I will expect here? A and A bar or B bar. Am I correct, students? Or B and this will be again A bar or B bar. Just I have applied De Morgan's theorem, nothing else. Very simple. I just applied multiple times the De Morgan's theorem. Next, which will be, I will apply distributive theorem law here. A bar. This will be A B bar or A bar B or B B bar. Am I correct, students? So A bar is 0, B bar is 0. So finally what we have achieved? A bar B, which is nothing else, A XOR B. So you understand? So how many gates required to design a XOR gate using NAND gate? Just 4 gates required. 4 gates required to design a XOR gate using NAND gates only. Okay, this is very important circuit, students, which will be useful many places. So please try to understand and remember how I have designed actually a XOR gate using 4 NAND gates. Okay, do you all understand? It's very simple. Okay. So any doubt we have achieved? Okay, so how many gates we just require? 4 gates required for XOR. These are all correct or not? So we have achieved 4 gates. Okay. So 5 gates is not minimum. That's why this is very important gate question. Okay. How many NAND gates required to design a XOR gate? Okay. The mainly we require 4 gates to design a XOR gate. Okay. 4 NAND gates require a XOR gate. Okay. Now for XNOR, how many gates required, students? As we know that a 2 input XOR is obviously it's a complement of the XOR. So obviously this is my XOR, this is my XOR. If I am going to connect it to a NOT gate, so how many gates required here? So if I'm going to connect a NOT gate, so this is my AB and this is my obviously A XOR B and this is A XOR B whole bar, which will give me finally A XOR B. So why is it like this? Because we have just know that XOR gate required how many gates? 4 NAND gates required, and NOT gate requires 1 more NAND gate. So finally how many gates required? 5 gates required to design a XNOR gate. Understand, students? It is very important. So you can implement, because we are going to use many times this circuit. Please try to understand what way I have done actually. So this is the minimal way. So we can just require 4 NAND gates to design a XOR gate. So this is very important gate question. Many of you will they make mistake by making it 5 gate. So what you have to do, if you make 2 different XOR gates here, then you will get obviously 5 gates. So that was actually mainly major mistakes people are doing actually. So you try to understand, we just require maximum 4 gates to design a XOR gate, and I have proved it also. AB bar or A bar B is A XOR B, and just XNOR required another extra NOT gate, which is actually can be implemented like this, just simply by just sorting like this. Whatever XOR output will be there, if you just put a extra NOT gate inverter over here, that will become your XNOR. I'm just not implementing it. You can also do it yourself. Then finally we can also design a NOR gate using XOR gate. How is it? Very simple. As we know that how we can design, we know how OR gate. So OR gate, how to design OR gate? You just has to A B. We have already designed OR gate required 3 gates and 1 inverter. If you just put a inverter, it require one more gate, one more NAND gate. So OR gate required 3 NAND gates and an inverter, which will give me finally A or B. Am I correct, student? A or B bar. Okay, this will be given me A or B. And finally, if I put a inverter which require one NAND gate, okay, so obviously I just require 3 NAND gate for OR gate and one NAND gate for this inverter. Then finally I just require 4 NAND gates to design a NOR gate. Understand, student? So I can also design a NOR gate using NAND gate. Okay, these are all you have not studied during digital electronics course. These are all little bit important, which will be directly come in your gate exams. Okay, how many minimum number of gates required to design a XOR gate and XNOR? Mostly these two question are little important. Okay, so this is actually NAND gate universality. So you can see here, any type of gate I can able to design with the help of NAND gate. So okay, you can design NOT gate, AND gate, OR gate. OR gate required 3 gates. So in order to get NOR gate, you require one more extra inverter, which will give me OR gate. Okay, so it just require 4 NAND gates to design a OR gates. And XOR also required 4 gates. I have already proved it. Minimal number of 4 gates required to design XOR. And finally XNOR require a XOR, which is actually 4 gates and 1 gate extra to design this inverter. So it's actually require 5 gates. Okay, this is very important. Next we move to the NOR gate. NOR gate require how many gates? 3 gates for the OR gate and 1 inverter. So it require 4 NAND gate to design a NOR gate. So okay, this is actually NAND gate universality. So we'll study about the NOR gate universality. NOR as universal. Okay, why is it universal? Because I can able to design any type of logic gates using NOR gate. Okay, so that's why it's called a universal. So we'll start implementing other gates using NOR gates. A very simple first part, which is just has to implement the using NOR gate. This is just an inverter. Okay, so this is A and then this is A bar. So you can also study it 0 0. So I can achieve it as a 1 and 1 1. I will achieve as 0. So this is actually how many gate required? 1 gate required, 1 NOR gate required. Then we'll move to the AND gate. I just require how many AND gates here? I'll require, this is my A. So this is my A bar. Okay, and this is my B and this is my B bar. Okay, and finally I will move to the another NOR gate, which will be A bar or B bar whole bar, which will be nothing else, A bars bar and B bars bar, which is AB. Okay, so this is my AND gate. And also we can design a OR gate using NOR gate, very simple, which just require an inverter. So this is my NOR gate, which is A or B bar. So if I just put an inverter, which is nothing else, it just has to sort 2 inputs of the NOR gate, which will give me finally A or B. So this is my OR gate. Here it required 3 gates, 3 NOR gates required, AND gate. OR gate required 2 gates. Okay, very simple. So next part, so this is my OR gate. Okay, so all of you understand. So minimum how many number of gates required to design OR gate? 2 gate. In order to design AND gate, I require 3 gates. Okay, then we'll move to the fourth one, which is actually XNOR. So I'll first design XNOR, then I'll go to the XOR. So see here, XNOR is just simple. The same way we have done for the XOR, this will be designed the same way with the help of NOR gate. Okay, see here, this is my AB. I can able to design it this way, the same way, very simple. So this is my NOR. Okay, just I am doing the same procedure whichever I have used to design a XOR gate using NAND gate. So finally I'll just get a here A XNOR B. Okay, so see here, this is my A or B bar. I can take this is my A or B bars bar. This will be B, A or B bars bar, and finally I will get here A bar B bar or AB. Okay, so this is your task. You have to prove it up. Very simple. What you need to do, let's say this is my output Y. So Y will be, I will be having A or B bars bar or B or A or B bars bar whole bar. If you can prove it, you finally will get A bar B bar or AB. So you can do this. I am not doing. So how many gates required to design XNOR gate? Just I need 4 gates to design XNOR gate using NOR gate using XNOR. Okay, so I can require 4 NOR gates to design a XNOR. Now the question is how to design a XOR. So obviously we know that just if you use XNOR, so if you use XNOR, if you put a inverter over there, that will give me final touch. So this will be my A XNOR B, and finally A XNOR B whole bar is my A XOR B, because A B here two inputs, and two input is a even number of input. If even number of inputs, then this will be a complement. You know this about it. Yesterday I have taught you about it. Okay, so very simple. You just need to have a XNOR over here, whatever the XNOR. So XNOR require 4 gates, and you just require to have another inverter this by designing the NOR gate. So this will be my A B, and this will be my finally A XOR B. So this is very simple and very important, student. So this is my A XOR B. A inverter gives me a XOR B. Okay, do you all understand? This is very simple and very important. Okay, then we'll how many gates required here? You just require 4 gates for XNOR to design. We have already seen over here 4 gates required to design XNOR using NOR gate. Then for the inverter I require another gate, which is 1 gate. So it's a 5 gates required. Okay, so understand, students, very important. So here 5 gates required. Okay, then how to design a NAND gate using NOR gate? So this will be like kind of 6th number, NAND gate. I can also design a NAND gate using XOR. You know that AND gate I can able to design a AND gate using 3 gates. I can design. Okay, so this is my A B. So I can design with the help of 3 gates and AND gate. So if I put a inverter over here, that will give me my NAND gate. Okay, so this will be what actually this will be my how many gates required for this? This will be my A and B bar. Sorry, A and B. Okay, students, this is my A and B. And finally, if I put another inverter, I can expect a and B bar. So we have already seen how to design a AND gate using NAND gate. So it's just required how many gates here? So how many NOR gates required to design a NAND gate? 3 gates required. We have already seen here. So these 3 gates required to design a AND gate. So if I put another inverter here, which will give me A and B bar, so it will be NAND gate. So very simple, I just require 3 gate, and for the inverter I require another 1 gate NAND gate. So it will 4 gates required. Okay, understand, students? Very simple. We require 4 gates. So some of the very important point I just has to make you point. So because we are going to use many times about it, please try to understand. So note here, what is the note to you? Logic gate. Okay, and you require number of NAND gates to design that particular logic gate, and you require number of NOR gates to design this logic gate. Okay, so this you just remember it and use it up whenever required, actually directly in the exam, gate exam. So you require NOT gate to design actually using either NAND gate or NOR gate. It will be 1 1, and this will be AND gate. You require how many number of NAND gate? 2 NAND gates, 1 for the NAND gate and invert to get the finally AND gate. Okay, and number of NOR gate required here, 3 number of NOR gate required to design AND gate. Okay, and we require OR gate using NAND gate to design. We require 3 gates, here 2 gates, and XOR gate using NAND gate we require 4 gates, and here one extra gate we require to invert the output, that is XNOR. Okay, so here it is XNOR is required how many gates here? 5 gates, and here by using NOR gate I just require 4 gates. Okay, we have already seen all these things. So this is the final takeaway point for you. Okay, if you remember this, it will be many times will be useful in the gate exams. Okay, in different approaches. Okay, so now we are going to study a little bit about the realization and implementation. We have already studied in the BTEX, but I'll just have you a brief glance about it, how the questions has been come up. Please we'll see directly with the questions. Okay, so various ways to represent or realize or implement. Just see here what we are doing actually. Let's say the question is to implement X bar Y Z, the minimum number of two input NAND gate required. How much required, student? NAND gate required. So the choices are A2, B4, C3, D5. So this is important question. Okay, so if you know that table, it's very easy for you to do that. Okay, so what is X bar Y Z, students? It's very simple. X bar YZ to implement is like this. We just need X, which will give me X bar to me. So this is X, okay. And YZ which will be give me AND get YZ. So this will be my output YZ. And finally it will go to two input, because I have been specified here we just need two inputs only. So I cannot express my equations with other inputs, 3 inputs and 4 inputs. So I just require 2 input gates to design it. So you know that for the this is my finally X bar YZ. Am I correct, students? It's very simple. So see here, how many gates I require to design NOT gate? Obviously one NAND gate I require, 2 input NAND gate. So I can design it with the help of just sorting 2 inputs of the NAND gate. So next, how many NAND gate required to design an AND gate? So I just require 2 gates, students. Okay, how is it? It's very simple. This is the way I can design it. Okay, this is the way I can do. This is my Y and Z. This will be my YZ bar, and finally I have achieved here YZ. Okay, and for this AND gate, how many required again? 2. So how many total 2 input NAND gates required? Very simple. You can add it up all. 1 plus 2 plus 2, 5. Is it given? Answer? Yes. D is the choice. So what do you understand? If you understand, if you know actually about this table, this is a very simple and very important question. It's very simple. If you know this table, actually you can able to implement it very easily, nothing else. Okay, so understand how the questions are, students. We'll see some more questions now. So this is question number 2 about the gates, how about implementation of gates. You just see here, the question is to implement XY or WZ. Okay, the minimum, this is the JTO question, student, JTO 2012 question. To implement XY or WZ, the minimum number of 2 input NAND gate required. Okay, 2 input NAND gate required. Okay, so here the choices are 7, B5, C3, D4. So mostly people are doing many mistakes in this. So mostly it's you have to understand how many number of gates mainly required and all, then you can express about it. Okay, so see here what I'm the way I am going to do. If this type of questions comes, what you will do, first of all, just try to make it with the help of 2 inputs always. Okay, try to make it with the help of 2 inputs. So can I design it this way, student? Very simple. So this will be my XY. So I'm going to do the solution here. How is it? You just check here how many gates I require. 2 input NAND gates. So why I'm doing 2 input? Because it's been question has been specified. I just need 2 inputs only to do that. But it will be NAND gate, specified NAND gate. So see here, I can design it like this. This is XY. This is my WZ. And finally it will be OR operation. And finally I will get my output, which is XY or WZ. Am I correct? I'm going to implement this, nothing else. So see here, what we can do, as we know that if I put a inverter here, simply it will become a NAND gate. Okay, again if I put a inverter here, it will become a NAND gate. Okay, and also if I put a inverter here, I have to cancel that inverter, because to extract inverter I have to put here. So I have to cancel it. I have to put another inverter over here, and also in order to cancel this, I have to put another inverter over here. Okay, so what I have to do? So can it be like this? I am just going to express it. Can it be like this? So see here, this is my XY. Okay, this is my XY. Very important question, students. This is my WZ. Just the bubbles give me through this inverter, nothing else. So can I do this way? Please check it once. So what it will give actually? So can it be XY or WZ? So obviously yes. How? So you know that this will be bubble. Bubble means bars. So this is bars. So if you make, this is my A bar, okay, and this is my B bar. If I go to the OR case, what it will be? A bar or B bar. Okay, so this will be my A bar or B bar. Okay, so if it is A bar or B bar, how we can express it using a NAND gate, students? Obviously, can I express this like this? So simply this is A bar and this is my B bar, and this will be my, I will keep A, B, Okay, please try to understand. This is my A, B, and I have put a NOT gate over here. So obviously, so this will be my bar I have given. So can it be write down like this? A bar or B bar whole bar? Okay. Sorry, I have made the mistake here. So instead of doing this, you just simply can directly do that. How? Just check here. So I can make it, instead of making it, I can make it like this. So I can make this. So instead of doing this, just what you need to do, you just has to implement this NOT gate. So see here, this is my NOT gate, now extra NOT gate. Here also again one more NOT gate. This will be go to my OR gate. So if I am able to express this is actually what, let's say A, and I have been given to a NOT gate, and this is B, I have been given to a NOR gate. So this will go to the OR gate. So it will give me what, let's say this is A bar, this will be B bar. So obviously this is what, A bar or B bar. A bar or B bar is nothing else A and B bar. So can I express this completely in this way? A B bar, which is nothing else my A B. Okay, and this is my A B bar. Do you all understand? It's very simple. So I can express this with one NAND gate. Okay, and this I can express it with how many NAND gates? Very simple, one NAND gate. Here also I can express this with one NAND gate. So how many NAND gates I required mainly to design this two input NAND gates? 3 NAND gates required. Okay, so for here 3 NAND gates required. So choice is 3. Do you all understand? Very simple. This is also called what type of logic realization, students? This is actually your NAND realization. Okay, and the first step whichever I have done in without including this inverters, it is called AND OR realization. Okay, so what I am going to prove over here, so I'm going to prove over here AND OR realization, two level AND OR realization. So mainly you can note of it actually. So this is what actually, so see here we have done just now. Okay, so this is just actually two level. This is one level one, this is my level two, level one, level two. In level one all AND gates are there. Okay, and level two OR gate is there. So can I write down this AND OR realization? Okay, so it will nothing else, x y w z, the equation which have been given to us to how many two input NAND gates required is actually nothing else a AND OR realization. Okay, so it will be equal to our realization using NAND gate, which is nothing else, very simple, like this. Okay, okay, so which is nothing else. So this is also level 1 NAND gate 1, level 2 NAND gate 2. Okay, so this is AND OR realization is equal to NAND realization. Do you all understand? So very important, NAND realization. So this is the takeaway point here. So what you have to do, you try to express SOPs in the form of AND OR realization, so that whatever number of AND gates and OR gates required to design that many number of NAND gates required. So this is the takeaway point. So finally, I'll just give a final important information here to implement SOP. So see here, I'm just generalizing here. To implement SOP form, only NAND gate alone required. Okay. Similarly, to implement POS form, only NOR gate alone required. Okay, NOR gate alone required. Understand, students? Very simple. Similarly, I can prove it up about the NOR gate POS expression. Let's say my question is if A or B and C or D, what you have to do? Then minimum number of the minimum number of NOR gate required. Minimum number of two input NOR gate required. How many? NOR gate required. How many? You can just has to implement it using OR and logic. So very simple. You can take it A, B, which is A or B. Okay. Similarly, you take it C or D. Okay. C or D. You can finally make it AND. You have to make it AND operation here. Okay. So you have to just make a AND operation here. Okay, which will give my function f A or B and C or D. So this will be my A or B, this will be my C or D, finally which will give my A or B, C or D. So it require how many number of NOR gates to design? So simple same way, you just has to require a NOR gate which will become a 2 input NOR gate. Okay, similarly if you add a NOR gate again here, it will become also a NOR gate. And here what you have to do, in order to cancel that NOR gates, you have to put 2 more NOR gates. So this will become my what? Another 2 input NOR gate. So I just require how many gates here? Again 3 gates, 3 NOR gates required. So how is it? My expression will be, this is one NOR gate. Okay, using this two combination of OR gate inverter, which will be A, B, and also C and D. So this will be with the combination of OR and inverter. I am getting another NOR gate here, and finally which will go to this inverter input, bubbled end, which will give me nothing else, a NOR gate. Very simple. So this also require three NOR gates. So this is what actually NOR relation. So what is the takeaway point here? While implementing the POS, we need NOR alone. Okay, so OR and relation is equal to my NOR relation. Okay, do you all understand, students? For OR and relation, how many number of gate required? That many number of NOR gate required to realize that particular function. Okay, particular POS function. Please try to understand. That is very important point. Okay, so here now my question is, let's say, so if the question comes like this, let's say question, my function is W bar or Z and X bar or Y. So how many gates required? So always remember, if W bar Z is given to you, so here W and X bar, here extra what is their implementation is required? Here it required extra NOT gates. But you remember, you have to assume one particular thing to do this. What is the assumption? This W bar and X bar are directly available with us. Directly available with us. So how many gates required to design this? Very simple. If I am going to do this W bar, this is my Z, I can just require a OR gate over here. Similarly, I can take X bar and Y, I just has to implement it with the help of AND gates. So how many gates I require? I just require 3 gates here. So obviously how many NOR gates I required? Again 3 NOR gates required. Okay, very simple. So like this way you can able to find out from POS how many minimum number of NOR gate required, how many minimum number of NAND gate required in case of SOP. Okay, so this is actually from the unit 1 students. We have completely studied about the gates, Boolean algebra, minimization, minimal SOP, minimal POS and all. And we'll move to the next syllabus, next part of our study, which is little bit important, where we can use all these things what we have studied till now. Little bit more about the gates and Boolean algebras we are going to express. So we'll move to that part actually. So next part is actually digital circuits. Okay, digital circuits. So what is digital circuits, students? Digital circuits are mainly 2 types. Okay, what are those? Very important. So combinational circuit, okay, and sequential circuit. Okay, what is combinational? Next, the combinational circuit is present output only depends on present input. So in this combinational circuit, present output only depends on present input. Okay, students, very simple. And here sequential circuit, present output depends upon present input, okay, as well as the previous output. Okay, previous output. Do you all understand? Very simple. So it actually depends on both present input and previous output. But in case of combination circuit, it only output only depends upon present output only depends on present input. So obviously, since it depends only on the present input, so there is no feedback path required. We don't require any previous output. So feedback path is not at all required. Okay. And here we need previous output to estimate few present outputs where it required actually. So hence we require a feedback path. Okay, do you all understand? So very important. So as the feedback path and previous output required, so it required memory. Okay, it required actually memory, but it doesn't require memory. Okay, No memory. Okay, students, very simple, no memory. Okay, so it's very simple, as it doesn't require any previous outputs to estimate its present output, so we don't require any memory to design our combinational circuits. So next, what are the examples? Mainly the examples are like half adder, okay, full adder, FA, next MOX, DMOX. We'll just discuss all these things, don't worry students, and many other things are there, decoders, encoders, many things are there. And here the examples are like flip-flop. Okay, flip-flop is a basic memory element. Next, registers. Okay, next, counters. So these are all basic memory elements. Okay, so this is basic memory element, and these registers and counters require this basic memory element flip-flop to design this. So registers required to flip-flops to design it, counters also required the flip-flops to design the counter. Okay, so this is basically a digital circuit. Digital circuit is categorized into two categories. First one is combinational, next one is sequential. In combinational circuit, present output only depends on the present input, but in sequential circuit, the present output also depend on the previous output as well as the previous present input. Okay, that's why it's little bit important, students. This combination sequential circuit, we'll see about it much actually later on. And combinational circuit, it doesn't require any memory, so it's having not having any feedback. And sequential circuit requires memory because it has to be remembering that previous outputs in some cases. That's why it require a feedback path as well as it require memory. And few examples we have already checked actually. Half adder, full adder, MOX, DMOX are my normal combinational circuit designs, and sequential circuit designs mainly flip-flop, registers and all. Okay, flip-flop, registers and counters. Okay, so we'll start about the combinational circuit first. Okay, so the combinational circuits. Okay, combinational circuit, we'll study about the sequential circuit in a brief later on. First we'll study about the combinational circuit. So first we should know what is the design procedure to design a combinational circuit. Procedure to design, what are the procedure? Please check here. So the first step is identify input and output. How many number of input output required and what are those input outputs? First you need to identify by seeing the problem statement. Okay students, so identify input and output. Okay, we'll see all these things, don't worry. So first step is identify the input and output. Second step is construct truth table. Okay, by knowing the behavior of the circuit to design the behavior of the circuit, we can construct the truth table. Okay, once we construct the truth table, the third step will be write logical expression. Okay, write logical expression in SOP or POS form. Okay, either in SOP or POS form, you need to write that particular logical expression from the truth table. Okay, you know that if you are writing a SOP expression, you have to consider the ones actually of the logic ones of the outputs of the truth table. If you are constructing a POS expression, you can consider zeros of the truth table. Okay, very simple. Okay, next, fourth point, which is nothing else, minimize the logic expression. Minimize the logic expression if possible. Okay, if itself is a minimized one, so you don't need to minimize it again. So how to minimize it? We can minimize it with the help of either with the help of KMF. Okay, the minimization can be possible with the help of KMF, the Karnaugh map, or we can use the Boolean algebra theorems and postulates to minimize those logic expression. We'll study about the Karnaugh map, don't worry students. I just has given the glimpse of it, what is actually minimize the logic expression if possible. Okay, next, fifth point, how the construction, implement logic circuit, and finally you can implement the minimized expression for the logic circuit. Okay, very simple. So these are the 5 design procedures. First, what you have to do, identify the input output, then construct the truth table. After construction, find out the logical expression, then minimize the logical expression if possible. Then after that, what you need to do, you need to find out the implement those logic circuit using any types of NAND, NAND, NOR, or depends on OR and, or depends on what actually you are using to implement. Okay, do you all understand? So very simple. So we'll see first part of our combinational logic circuit, which I have already told that few examples. Half adder is a combinational logic circuit. We are going to see about that half adder little bit more. Okay, so already you guys have studied the half adder. Half adder is nothing else. It's a combinational logic circuit, CLC. It's a combinational logic circuit which adds two binary bits. Okay, so two binary bits. It's a combinational logic circuit which adds two binaries. What would be the binary bits? 0 0 0 1 1 0 and 1 1. These are the particular binary bits. It's going to add it and give me the output. What is the design procedure, students? We know that identify the inputs and outputs. So this is the first step. You need to identify how many number of input and outputs required for my half adder design. Okay, so we require how many number of inputs here? Obviously it's a 2-bit binary. I just require two inputs. What are those inputs? A and B. Okay, so in order to design a half adder can be written in short form HA. In order to design a half adder, I require two inputs which are A and B. So obviously these A and B are actually nothing else. It's just a single bit input. Okay, so after adding, so how many number of outputs now required? I just require two outputs. What are those outputs? Sum and the carry. So these are the two outputs. Okay, so we'll see now what are those things. Don't worry. So first step, I have told you the design procedure. You need to identify number of inputs and outputs required to design that particular digital circuit. Okay, next step is what, students? Very simple. The next step is construct the truth table. So in order to construct the truth table, what you need to do, you just need to know the behavior of the circuit. Okay, as we know that truth table is nothing else, it's the relationship between input and output. So in order to construct it, as we know that it required two inputs which are actually single bit inputs and two outputs, sum and carry. Okay, so obviously this is actually two inputs, 0 0, either it will be 0 1 or it will be 1 0 or it will be 1 1. So these are the possible combinations, nothing else. Okay, in order to design this particular logic circuit, I need two inputs A B, which are actually one bit each. Okay, so possible combinations of input are either 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. So as we know that if you add 0 0, the sum is 0, carry is 0. If you add 0 1, sum is 1, carry is 0. Okay, 1 0, sum is 1, carry is 0. 1 1, sum is 0 and carry is 1. So this is the particular thing, nothing else. Okay, so this is the behavior of the circuit tells me, and I have designed accordingly that particular truth table. I have constructed that particular truth table. Next step is what? Find out the logical expression. Okay, find out the logical expression. So how to find out? As I know that if you can take the ones of the truth table, so there will be how many logical expressions? Obviously two logical expressions, because there is having two outputs, sum and carry. So if you considering ones, then you have to express it in SOP. If you are considering zeros, then you have to express it in a POS. So I'm going to express my output, sum and carry in SOP form. So obviously I am going to take that actually here. So see here, this will be, as I told, this will be what? This one is here in the sum. So obviously this is A bar B. Similarly, also it required another minterm, which is A B bar. Okay, so we know that A bar B or A B bar is nothing else, it's A XOR B. Okay, and carry, what? This is my carry. So carry is nothing else, these are two ones, so this will be A B. So I have achieved the logical expression for the sum and carry, which is A XOR B and AB. Carry is AB. So after that, what I have told, fourth point, the fourth point is nothing else, minimize the logical expression. Obviously it's a minimized version, I don't require any minimization techniques to do that. Then finally no minimization required for it. Okay, no minimization because it's already a minimized one. Then finally I will go for implementation. In order to implement it, so first using the basic gates I can implement it. Let's say A XOR B. Okay, so I can implement with a XOR here, which will give me A, B inputs, and this is my sum, which gives me A XOR B, obviously, and carry is nothing else, A and B. So this is my A and B. So this is my A and B. So this is my carry. All of you understand, student, which is AB. So this is the particular logic circuit which performs the half adder operation. What the half adder will do? It actually adds two binary bits. Okay, if you give here binary bit, one binary bit here, another binary bit here, it will just give addition of it and gives two results, either sum or carry. Okay, this is the job of a half adder. This is the basic half adder and this is the basic combinational logic circuit. Okay, so next one, important questions about the half adder. What are the important questions will come up? There are few important questions will come up. You can see what are those. First question is, what are the logical expression? We have already done the logical expression for of sum, which is nothing else A XOR B, and sometime also you can use A bar B or AB bar. Okay, A bar B or AB bar, and carry will be nothing else AB. Okay, do you all understand? So next important question might be like this. This next one, second one, minimum number of NAND gate required. Minimum number of NAND gate required to design it. NAND gate required to design it. You see here, how many NAND gate required to design it, students? Very simple. How many NAND gates required to design it? So see here, the XOR gate required how many gates? 4 NAND gates. Okay, and this AND gate, okay, it also require how many NAND gate? Obviously 2 NAND gates. But the thing is, one of the NAND gate he will utilize from here out of 4. Okay, I will prove it. Don't worry, students. I will going to prove it. So it also required how many gates? Actually, if somebody will not know about it, simply he can write out 4 plus 2, but it's wrong. It's required just 5 gates. I am going to prove it, students. Don't worry. It just required 5 number of NAND gates. Okay, so this AND gate require how many NAND gates? 2 NAND gates. From those 2 NAND gates, one of the NAND gate he is going to utilize from here. Okay, so out of 4, one of the NAND gate will be required by this AND gate, and another one is just an invert of it. Okay, so I'll prove it. Don't worry about it. So minimum number of NAND gate required are 5. Similarly, I just require minimum number of NOR gate. So this also I'm going to prove. Don't worry. Minimum number of NOR gate also 5. Okay, very important question, students, for the gate exam. Number of mocks required 3. I'll tell about this mocks. Don't worry, just ignore it now. And mocks would be, let's say, 2 cross 1 mocks. I'm going to require how many? 3. So just ignore it. I'll just inform you later on in my later videos. You just has to find out about the mocks. So don't worry. Just it require 3 number of mocks actually to design this half adder. Next important question will be number of decoders required. The number of decoder required here 1. What is the 2 cross 4 decoder? This also I will tell you later on. Don't worry, with a OR gate. So it required 2 cross 4 decoder and a OR gate to design this half adder, one OR gate. So these 2 points I'll explain you in later videos. You don't worry. I'll just stop it here actually, these things, and I'll move to the next part. So half adder implementation using NAND gate only. Okay, using NAND gate. I have claimed here I require 5 NAND gates to design it. Okay, so how? You can see here. Very important, students. For BTech students also, this is an important one. So see here, as we know that XOR gate can be implemented with the help of how many gates? Just 4 gates I need it. How? I can do it here like this. So see here the way I am doing. Okay, so from here I have taken another input like this. From here I have taken another input like this. Then the combine of it I have taken, and I can make another NAND gate. So this will give me sum, which is actually, I know that this is A XOR B. If this is A, this is B, my sum will be A XOR B. I'm not going to prove it because I have already proved it earlier. Okay, the next part is I'm going to, this is actually XOR part, students. I have already implemented the XOR part. Now I require 4 gates. Now I have to implement this AND gate. So you see here, this is my what actually, student? If I am going to take this is my what? This is nothing else, my AB bar. So if I take AB bar from this NAND gate, I just require another one NAND gate here only, which will give me AB, am I correct? Which is nothing else, my carry. So how many total NAND gates required to design this half adder? Just it require 5 NAND gates. Okay, so very important. Okay, it just required the 5 number of NAND gates to design a half adder. Now, how to implement a half adder using NOR gate? Okay, so HA using NOR gate. How to do? Very simple. You know that you can able to implement it. So see here, using NOR gate, what you can do. So this is my a XNOR. Using NOR gate, I'm going to use NOR gates only. So this is my NOR gate. So this is my AB, A or B bar. Am I correct, friends? And if I'm going to take this here, so this is my what actually, can I tell that this is A and B? So this is the AND gate. Okay. So if I do that, please see here what I'm doing. I'm just putting over here another NOR gate. Okay. So which will give me what? Which will give me A XOR B. I'm going to prove it. How? So see here. And we know that what is AND gate. In order to design a AND gate, how many number of NOR gate requires? I know that it requires 3 number of NOR gate. So I'm not worrying about this AND gate. If I can prove that this is my A XOR B, which require actually 2 plus 3. Total how much? 3 NOR gate, and here 2 NOR gates. So total how many NOR gate? So 5 NOR gates. I can able to prove it. How? If it gives me A or B expression. Okay, which will give me some expression. Okay. Understand, students? Very simple. So see here what I can do over here. So this is what A or B bar, and this is what actually, this is my AB. So I can take here. So this output, my AB or AB or A or B bar whole bar. Am I correct, students? AB or A bar B, A or B whole bar. Am I correct? So here what we can do. So A or B bar is what actually, this I can express it in this way, AB bar and A or B whole bars bar. Can I write down this way? So which will give me finally A bar or B bar. Here I can get from this, and here I can get just A or B. So finally, if you solve it up, you will get in this way, A bar, B bar. If you just apply the distributive law and all, it will come up. I'm just not doing this. You can do it up. Very simple. So this will be giving me what actually, A XNOR B. Okay. Okay, so this, sorry, this is A bar B and A B bar. Okay, if you do this, this will be my A XOR B. If you can prove it, you can get it, student. So this is my what actually, this is my sum I have achieved by, with the help of how many NOR gates? I just require 2. Okay, and here 3 NOR gates. So total how many NOR gates I required? 5 NOR gates to design a half adder circuit. Okay, so this is very important things. And next part, we'll move to the next circuit, digital circuit. So which is actually half subtractor circuit. Okay, half subtractor circuit. So half subtractor circuit is nothing else. It is also a combinational logic circuit which subtracts actually 2 binary bits, which subtracts 2 binary bits. Understand, students? Very simple. It will perform the subtraction between A minus B. These are actually A and B are 2 binary bits, and it will provide as output how much? Difference and a borrow. So here how many inputs and outputs we have identified? The input output, first design process is identify inputs and outputs. So 2 inputs and 2 outputs. So 2 inputs are 1 bit binary bits, and 2 outputs which are actually difference and borrow. Do you all understand? Very simple. So with that, I can able to do this way. You can see very simple. This is my half subtractor. It just required 2 inputs A, B, and 2 outputs, the difference and a borrow. Okay, very simple. Okay, so this is the way I can able to design my things. Next, so second design procedure is what? Construct the truth table. Okay, construct the truth table. So we know the truth table, we can identify the behavior. From the behavior I can construct the truth table. Okay, So see here what I'm doing. So as we know that here in the half subtractor, it takes two binary bits and it performs the subtraction operation and gives us a difference and a borrow. So here it will be having two inputs A and B, and it's giving me difference and a borrow output. Okay, so A, B, so obviously there are four different combinations: 0 0 0 1 1 0 and 1 1. These are the particular combinations. So what would be my difference? Difference is nothing else, mine 0 minus 0 0, and borrow is also 0. I'm not taking any borrow for this. 0 minus 1, here difference is 1, borrow is 1. 1 and 0, 1 minus 0 is difference is 1, borrow is 0. 1 minus 1 is difference is 0, borrow is 0. Okay, so all of you understand. So next design procedure is what? Design procedure is find out the logical expression. Okay, write the logical expression. So logical expression, you have to identify whether you are writing it in the SOP or POS. If you are taking SOP, take once actually of the truth table, outputs of the truth table. So obviously this is one for the difference and this is one. So I will be getting for difference, which is nothing else, A bar B or A B bar. So I can express it with the help of A XOR B. Am I correct, students? And borrow is also like this. You can take this wherever one is there. So this one, which is nothing else, A bar B. Am I correct? So these are the two logical expressions. Next to what you need to do, you have to minimize it. If possible, minimize it, but it's already a minimized version. I am not going to minimize it further. Okay. Next to what you need to do, you just test no minimization required here because it's already a minimized version here. So next part is what? Next part is implement the logic circuit. So in order to implement it, what you need to do, the very simple, you just have to use a XOR gate. Okay, and the output of the XOR gate will give you the difference, which is nothing else, my A XOR B. If you take A B here, this is A XOR B, and here this B as it is and A bar, you require another NOT gate over here. Okay, so this is my borrow is what? It's A bar B. Okay, so this is the logic circuit which performs the binary subtraction between A and B. Okay, so this is actually my half subtractor. Okay, all of you understand. So now what actually question came in the exam, that I am going to tell you. So see here, in order to go into that, you just see here what so I can express half adder and half subtractor using a single circuit. How? You just see here. So see here, what is the main difference? Mainly difference and borrow both are same. For difference, so what is half adder? Half adder is sum. I will be getting A XOR B, and carry I will be getting A and B. Am I correct, students? And for the half subtractor, difference is what? Which is also XOR B, but borrow, instead of carry there is a borrow, which is A bar B. Okay, so here what is the difference? Only the difference to find out carry and borrow. Okay, in order to find out this carry and borrow, the half adder and half subtractor difference is present. Okay, but there is similar type of logic equation for sum as well as difference, which is A XOR B. So see here what I am doing actually. What is the single circuit which performs both half adder and half subtractor. Okay, if I can able to get from one circuit this AB and A bar B, then we can by the help of some control logic, then we can able to design a single circuit for half adder and half subtractor. Okay, this is the thing which you have not studied in digital electronics students. Please see here what I am doing. So what I have told here A B, two inputs I have taken. What is sum and difference? Both are nothing else the XOR. So here I can write down this is Y. So I can take this expression as Y, and carry I am going to be, sorry, this will be X, and I am going to write down carry as Y. So this is X, which is nothing else my A XOR B. So this is obviously sum as well as my difference. I can express like this. So I have to design a digital circuit which performs both the half adder and half subtractor by changing a single bit. I am now telling you that clue actually. See here what I am doing. So as we know that, so see here the digital circuit what I am doing. This is the B I have taken here. Okay. So what I am doing, I am taking a here a AND gate. I am taking this is at Y. So y would be giving two things. What is that? AB and A bar B. If a half adder, it would give AB. If a half subtractor, it would give A bar B. So now what is the thing I have to make a controlling thing so that it will give AB and A bar B? That I want to tell you now. Please see here. So from A, what I did, I just take a jumper and I have connected to a XOR gate here. What I have done, I just connected to a XOR gate, and here another input of the XOR gate I have given to the control input. Okay, please try to understand, very important concept I am telling students. So control input, the output of the control input I have just given here actually to the AND gate. Okay, do you all understand? Very simple. So here either my control input will be 0 or my control input will be 1. Okay, so now let's say my control input is 0. Okay, let's say my control input is 0. So what is this output I am going to find out? If the control input is 0, what is this output? It obviously depends upon another input A. Am I correct, students? Okay, so what is this another input? A and the control input fixed to 0, so it is fixed to 0. So I can get this output. The output is what here? So the output, let's say this is Z, so I can return here Z. Okay, so see here, so A means either it is 0 or it is 1, but this control input is fixed to 0. If I am selecting 0 here, the control input, it gets fixed to 0. So see here, if what is that, this Z is nothing else, it's A XOR control input. Am I correct, students? So that is the output here. Okay, then I can perform the AND operation with fixed B. So this is my fixed B. So if I have get here something, so if I have get here something, I can make AND operation. I can tell that this is my AB or A bar B. Am I correct, students? So if I am taking a control input 0, so the control input 0. So what I am doing here, this is fixed. So 0 0. What is A XOR the 0? So it is nothing else. This is 0 1 0, it is 1. So what is happening here? Z is nothing else A. So can I write down Z is nothing else A here? If the control input is 0, I can tell here, if my control input is 0, I have taken my Z, which is the intermediate signal Z, which is nothing else A. Now what will happen? This is my A. If it is A, Y is what? AB. So if it is A, Y is what? AB. So if control input 0, then I am getting Y finally AB. Okay, so which will be nothing else, it acts like a half adder. So if control input is 0, I'll be getting half adder. So this is the takeaway point. Now the thing is, go for if control input is 1, case 2. So if control input is 1. So if control input is 1, what I'm doing here, if I'm choosing a control input 1, so my A and control input, which is fixed, that is 1. Okay, I will getting intermediate signal Z, which is nothing else A XOR my control input, which is fixed 1. Okay, so this will be 0 or 1. This is fixed 1. 0 1 is what? 1. 1 1 is what? 0. So what I have achieved here, so whatever A is there, Z is opposite of it. So it can say that Z is A bar. So see here, this will be now not A, this is A bar. If it is A bar and B is what? It is giving half subtractor. So what is the takeaway point? If my control input is 1, I'll be getting the intermediate signal Z is A bar, and I'm getting Y is A bar B. So it is act like a half subtractor. The circuit is act like a half subtractor. Okay. So what is the final takeaway point? It depends upon the control input. If control input is 0, the circuit is a half adder. If control input is 1, the circuit is a half subtractor. Okay, very important circuit, students, and it will come mainly in the gate exams and all. Okay, this type of circuit they will give, and you need to analyze it and use it a proper way. Any doubts, students? Please let me know. So we'll stop the thing here for today's class. Okay, so